Hello, welcome to All Things Opera with John. So my partner Alex and I have embarked on a new project called Opera Up Close. You may have seen a video I posted about it recently, about our upcoming event later this month. And by the way, it is sold out. Yay! The concept is basically a supper club with opera entertainment. And each event is themed. So for example, our upcoming event in June is inspired by Pride Month. So you buy a ticket to our apartment for dinner. Alex provides the menu based on the theme, and I will sing a few arias and songs also based on that theme. I'll sing a little bit during the cocktail hour, then you go to dinner, and then we come back out for dessert and cocktails, and I sing some more. Deciding what to sing for an event like this has been a process. And today I'm going to let you in on that process as I choose repertoire that is appropriate for an event like this. So here we go. Ever since I did the opera Champion at Lyric Opera of Chicago a few years ago, where I played a drag queen, I have been wanting to find an opportunity to perform in drag. Now I know that may sound strange to some of you knowing me, but the feeling of putting on that drag costume with the wig and the dress and the jewels and the gloves, it made me feel invincible. And I don't know any other words to describe how I felt. I've been chasing that feeling ever since and looking for an opportunity to recreate it. And since this event is tied into Pride Month, I thought it would be a great opportunity to introduce Misshapen to you all. But as I assembled each piece of what I wanted to wear and putting it all together, I realized maybe our first Opera Up Close experience isn't the right opportunity to introduce you to Misshapen. I think she needs to discover who she is before you meet her. So I pivoted. I found these amazing and surprisingly comfortable high-heeled boots that I fell in love with, and I can't wait to wear them. And I built a whole ensemble around the shoes, and I'll show it to you later. But first I want to talk about the music. In keeping with the idea of blurring the lines between genders, I thought I would sing arias and songs that would normally be performed by a female. Soprano arias, torch songs, ingenue love ballads, that kind of thing. So with that in mind, here's what I've come up with. To start, I'm going to sing two iconic soprano arias from the repertoire Quando, which is Musetta's Waltz from La Boheme, and O mio babbino, caro from Gianni Schicchi. Both arias by Puccini, both most people have heard, and they're very recognizable. Now, as I've spent some time practicing this music, the first thing that came to my mind was, damn, these are a lot harder to sing than I thought. I mean, I just thought since it's a soprano aria, sort of in the same range, I could just sing that. Well, that's so naive. I've spent years working on tenor arias. What would make me think I could just open up a soprano aria and just sing it? In other words, just singing someone else's aria that happens to be in the same range doesn't necessarily mean that singing Quando is going to be the same as singing Una furtiva lagrima. They're different, and it's going to be different challenges, but I love a good challenge. So these two arias I know I will sing at the beginning. However, to start with, I was thinking I would open with something that says, here I am, I'm an operatic singer, and you know the song, and that would be Nessun Dorma. I think that's a great way to open the evening with this big aria, and then pivot, take a U-turn, and sing two iconic soprano arias. So that's sort of the plan. Then, to close out the first part of what I'm singing in the evening, I'm going to sing a Richard Hundley song called Come Ready and See Me. Now, this song has been in my repertoire for years. I learned it probably 30 years ago. Richard Hundley was at one time, back in the 60s, a opera chorister with the Metropolitan Opera in New York. He was also a hobbyist composer, but that sort of took priority as he got better and shared his compositions with his friends and colleagues, including the great soprano Anna Moffo, who went on to sing some of his songs in recital during her tour of the United States back in the late 60s. So the song was dedicated to a friend of his who died too young. And every time I hear the song, I think back to those days in the mid 80s and the 90s when we were losing so many young gay men to AIDS. And the text of the song that says, come see me as soon as you can, don't wait, We don't know how long we have. That sort of message resonates so deeply with me. And I think closing this first set of arias with this song is a great lead-in to maybe a robust discussion during dinner that follows, before the guests come back in for dessert, coffee, and more singing. Now, the second set of songs I'll sing while our guests are enjoying coffee and desserts will be songs that I have loved from afar for many years, but have never sung because they were not mine. In other words, they are women's songs, female songs. So, to start, I'm going to sing If He Walked Into My Life from Maine. That itself is a showstopper for the likes of Angela Lansbury, Ginger Rogers, Christine Baranski. Following that, I'll sing a song from the show Ballroom called 50%. So in the show, the character has been widowed for many years. She's fallen in love with the man, only to discover that he is already married and he will never leave his wife. So she has to decide what she wants to do. And she finally decides that having 50% of somebody is better than 0%. So that's how she goes. So the song is 50%. I don't iron his shirts. I don't sew on his buttons. We don't have memories. But I have enough memories and I don't need anything else. I just need at least half of him. Now that is a tour song. And then I'm excited to sing a song that I have loved my whole life. One of my absolutely very favorite songs of all time, Till There Was You from The Music Man. It's just one of those classic love ballads with a beautiful message and a beautiful melody, and I'm excited to sing it. And then to round out the second set of songs, I'm going to sing a classic musical theater song. I could have done Stole Night. So that is the set of songs I'm doing for the second part. Now, of course, being a tenor, I have an encore prepared. So if they want it, and if they're dying for more, I'm going to come back out and sing the great gay ballad, I Am What I Am, in my key, of course. So these are the songs I've chosen to sing for our upcoming event. Let me know what you think. Do you have any thoughts or any ideas? And the next video, I'll share some ideas about what I want to wear. Thank you.